a habit can be improved, first it must be established. Now, that's not my saying. It's from a lad called James Clear, okay? If you haven't heard of James, I'd highly recommend that you get across and grab hold of his book, Atomic Habits. Now, when I first read that, it hit me like a ton of bricks. It was like, you think about New Year's resolutions. People go out and say, oh, I'm going to get fit and I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to do all these different things. Okay. Reality is they start off like a rocket from the 1st of January. And by the 15th of January, I think it is, 95% of people have already broken their New Year's resolution. Statistically, we know that happens. So they can track it over and over, years and years and years and years. And the problem is exactly what James said, is that they've never established the habit to start off with. So they've never ever given themselves a reasonable chance on following through and achieving that goal. Now, there's a lot of different stats and well, they're not even stats actually, they're arbitrary figures around habits, creating habits, and it comes back to, you probably already heard it, 21 days. It's actually been scientifically proven that it's a lot closer to 66 days, and it depends on the level of complexity of the habit. As it could take 6 months, it might take you a week, whatever it may be. 66 days is just an average. So you need to focus first, before you even worry about a New Year's resolution, is just getting the habit. And another stat that comes out of that book, Atomic Habits, and I go back to it a number of times because it is such a good book, is that if you can achieve just 1% improvement, 1% every day, you start on New Year's Day this year, 2019, through to 2020, that thing that you're focusing on to do, you'll be 37 times better at it by just achieving a 1% improvement a day, which is pretty easy to do. Now, the way that I use this with social media is I've made everyone go back to, because I've had a lot of people, I worked with a lot of people over the years, and again, they start off great, they put a lot of content out, they're highly motivated, and they just crash and burn. No one's ever stuck with it and really gone, what I consider, done really, really well with it. And so the way that I'm doing it now is I'll send them right back to what I call the constructive use of social media challenge. So all I got to do is listen to a quick podcast episode, like 1 to 2 minutes of a podcast. They pick up the phone. I use an app called GetSpar. Okay, so they got to pick up their phone and tell me in 30 seconds one thing that they got out of this podcast that I make them listen to, which is called the One Thing Podcast. I'll talk about this a little bit later on and how important it is as well. So they've got to listen to a couple of minutes. They can do that in the car while they're driving to work. They've got to pick the phone up. As I say to them, you can talk to your phone for 30 seconds per day, can't you? So once they've done that every day for a month, they've established that habit of listening to the podcast and picking their phone up and talking to their phone. Then I can go on them, because I only work with people that are that want to establish themselves as an authority and use video to drive that authority online. That's the only sort of type of businesses that I actually work with. Once they've established that habit of talking to the phone, creating those videos, even though it just goes to an app which is, you know, not even online, no one sees it other than myself and anyone else that's in the group. Once that habit's established, then we can improve it. Then we can start doing LinkedIn videos, we can start doing Facebook videos, we can do whatever we need to do. So that's it. If you don't do anything else, even if you don't join that group, it doesn't make any difference really. Establish the habit first. If video's your thing, if that's what you want to do, if that's your one thing, that's another great book that you need to get a hold of. If that's your one thing, you need to just put under 2 minutes per day aside and establish that habit first before you worry about trying to improve it. Because you can go in here to the Sunshine Plaza where they're doing up, they put an awesome new cinema in there, right? You can go in there, watch Creed as many times as you like, get yourself as motivated as you like, have as much willpower as you like. But if you don't establish a habit first, it ain't never going to happen. All right, that's it. If you like this video, enjoyed it as much as I've made making it for you, feel free to share it with someone else. And we'll speak soon.